Mildenhall and Volmer live. And today is going to be something a bit different today. Basically, one of my subscribers in my last video had asked me about my yard lights that I've did in my last video. And they'd asked me about how I go about doing that. So this video, I've got some more to do. I go about doing that. Bear with me a minute. I'm just trying to sort out my TV. So any chat can be shown up. Bear with me a minute. That's good. Right, so basically the crux of this video is to show you how I make my modern style lamps that I've got going on in my yard. And so, like I said, I went to see Paul today and over at my local model shop, and I wanted to get some more bits and pieces to make some more lights. And so let's go through some of the stuff that you're going to need to do this. Basically, you're going to need, I'm going to just drop you down, drop you down, drop you down. So here you have my soldering iron. I have some solder. I have some flux. I have some tip cleaner for the soldering iron, and that cleans the tip of the soldering iron. Wire strippers. I've got a couple of measuring rulers, I should say, but that's not actually necessary, but it's just to show you the lengths. I've got some heat shrink here, and I've also got some lids which I made up today. These were scrap plastic and then sprayed up into a primer, and they're going to become the lids, a bit kind of like what you see here on the old ones. So it's going to be that. You need your LEDs. These are warm white LEDs, and I ordered some more from eBay today because I need some more. And I also got this from Paul, which is the evergreen polystyrene struts, tubes I should say. There you go, you get 3 in a pack, and this is number 228. So there you go. So just to give you, and it's 1/4 inch tube, and you just get 3 pieces. This cost me £5 for free, but like I said in the process, I'm not going to show you me spraying these up because there's no point, but basically I'm just going to give you the general gist of how I do it, and then any of you who want to follow along can basically follow along. So the first thing I wanted to do is just open this up, because that's the first thing we're going to need to do. I hope you can hear me. So just to show you the length. The length is 36 centimeters. And what I'll do is I split it directly down the middle, which is what, and what I do is I use this to split it down the middle. So bear with me 1 second, because what I should have done, which I didn't do, is get myself my pencil. So half of 36 is 18, so that's 18 there. So that's the thing, I'll make a little mark there. Hopefully you can see that. And that should be straight down the middle. And then, as you can probably see, I don't know if you can see it, so hopefully you can. It's hollow all the way through. So you just literally just slide the wiring all the way in. And then what I do then is on that mark, just snip. And that is roughly half. And that is pretty much identical, 2 identical pieces pretty much. Now, the reason for cutting them directly in half is because if you make one slightly longer than the other, then you end up with less pieces. So that's the reason why I cut them in the middle, and it works out to be a really perfect height. But you may want it slightly shorter or slightly longer, depending on how you want to use it. So that's kind of like the first bit that you kind of want to do. I've also got this little battery holder test kit, and I tend to test things as I go along because it makes life a lot easier in the long run. So the next thing I want to do is to take out 2 LEDs, which is one there. I've actually got 6, so I can only make. Hello Tim Scrapline, welcome to the stream. Long time no here. Hope you're keeping well. So as you can see, these are LEDs. You can probably see that one leg is slightly shorter than the other, and usually the and I've got my little battery pack. So what I do is test it as I go along, and usually the spread the legs a little bit, and usually the short leg goes into the black, and as you can see, that one is actually working perfectly fine. And I will do the same again with the other LED, because then I know that both LEDs are perfectly fine and working. And there you go, there's the other one as well. So they're both working fine. These are really easy to bend over, so you want to bend over the legs. But what you want to do is to minimize the wiring, we're just going to use 2 wires, because generally you'd have to use 4, which is 1 for each leg on that one and 1 for each leg on that one. But by soldering the 2 together, you won't have to do that, you can just use 2. So what I'm going to do is you bend the legs over 90 degrees. So as you can see, the legs are bent over. Now what you want to do is the other one, you also want to join the 2 short legs together. So you want to make sure that they're both connected together. But this time, as you can see, it's like that, it looks like that. One's up, you want to split it the other way. So that's how I do that. So now we've got 2 LEDs which are facing opposite each other, but when they're soldered together, the legs will be in the right place. The 2 short legs will be soldered together, and the 2 long legs will be soldered together. So that's the next sort of job to do. So there's my solder. Get the solder out. So that's the solder. A bit of flux to help it take. Grab your soldering iron. And that's one of the legs done. See, that leg is now completed. It's now soldered. Now we've got to do the same with the other leg. Let's see if that's stuck together. Yeah, I think that is, but I'm gonna dab a bit more. My apologies if I'm missing anyone on the chat. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Right, so we've now soldered these two together, and to make sure that we've soldered them the right way round, we have another little check with our battery tester. This time both of these LEDs should work. Oopsie. So as you can see, they both work. There you go. So you now know that they've been soldered correctly together. So that's the first bit. So we now know that these two are now working in conjunction with one another. So the next thing to do is to get some wiring. So as the short leg of the LED works with the black wire, what I do is I use the black wire on that short leg and solder it to that. Now, like I said, I'm not using a resistor because this is going to go into my plug-in regulator, so I don't need the resistor, so it's going into a 3-volt supply, not into a 12-volt supply. In fact, I'm going to switch the big light on now. It's getting a bit too dark. And what I'll do now just clean that up. I'll put it as far high up as I can go. This bit can be a bit fiddly, to be honest. I do have some helping hands somewhere. The other thing is because of the fact I've got the flux on as well. Right. That's that done. I don't know if you saw me do that actually, to be honest. But as you can see, that wire's taken to that. And then what I'll do is I will snip, spread the legs out, and snip that end off. And now we've got the LED tied on to the long length of that cable. And then it's a matter of doing the same for the long one. Right, and then that will go right, so that is also on. So now you've got your two LEDs and they're connected to two wires. And again, what I'll do is I will snip that end off as well. So now you kind of got it like that. And they're both soldered. So then the next thing to do is to get some heat shrink onto that. And do is we'll cut a piece off. And you only need it on one. So it can go onto that one. It might be easier to go on the other one. Sometimes with these things, they are a bit. Let's try on the other side. Sorry if you can't see anything at the moment. Just trying to get a heat shrink on that. I should have actually used probably some bigger heat shrink. I was meant to buy some today. So I'm just having a bit of trouble with the heat shrink. Let's see if that'll work. And there we go. Right, so you get there eventually. The heat shrink's a bit tight, but it's better that way. But you've got the heat shrink on one side, not necessarily on the other side. And then what you just use is the back of the soldering iron just to heat it. There you go. So that's it now. And the thing is, because these evergreen struts are plastic, you don't have to worry about getting short-circuited. And then all you just do is you can just feed the cable right through the bottom. Pull it through. And then there you have it. It just pops through just like so. There you go. And it's in there and you kind of got a modern lamp. So next thing to do is to test it. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off again. And there you have it. So there's our light. So I'm just gonna pop this in the camera view. Let me see. And hopefully when we put power to it, it should all work. So there you go. As you can see that it's working. Obviously it's not on properly, but yeah, you can see it works. So there you go. So now I know the wiring is sound. And it's as simple as that, really. Now the next thing I do is I'm going to just glue this lid on. But I'm probably going to do that in situ on the layout because that's probably the easiest way of doing it. But like I said, it's not actually finished as such, but it's the general gist. I'll now take you to the layout and sort of show you underneath how it's connected up, because somebody'd asked me about how it's all connected up. So that's how you basically do it. So, right. So I'm just gonna, where are we? Spin you around. Here we go. Right, we're at the layout. Excellent stuff. Right. So now, don't adjust your sets, because what we're going to do now is I'm going to just pull the lines down. You're going to pull the blinds down and you're going to have a view of what it's like when it's switched off. So I'm going to switch the lights off, dim it as much as I can, so the little light is still off. So don't adjust your sets. And we're going to switch on the illuminations. So there we have it. Now, as you can see, not all of them have been done. That one there, that one hasn't been done yet. And that's because I've run out of LEDs, so I need to get some more LEDs. I've also made some holes at the back to put some more lights where it's dark. And then there's the one behind there that hasn't been done. But as I pan you around, these ones have all been done. And just as a reminder of what it was like without any lights, that's what it's like without any lighting. So, shows you what difference it makes. And as you pan round, and as you can see, it's a slightly different glow to it than the ones in the station and at the back. And this one here and this one here. And these are all brighter. And these are all the lights that I've made just by the way I've showed you. So next thing to do is I'm going to... Oh, hello, the fiddle flyer. Thank you. I was beginning to think there was nobody in the chat. So I'm just going to shut those down for now. So let me show you again down the back. There's actually been a bit of an alteration at the back as well. As you can probably see right down the back there, I've made some holes there. There's going to be another set of lights, 2 sets going to be along there. I've made this today. I've made this today. I had a very productive afternoon. Bear with me a minute. So Let me just rotate you. Right, so let me just get you up a bit because it's a bit. Let's get you up if I can. Release this. Oh, here we go. Right, there goes that. Right, so today I made this. Well, I say I made it. Basically, this is an old Stagecoach Leyland National that I hadn't sold on eBay. I sold a lot of vehicles, and this is one knocking about. And then it suddenly dawned on me that with a lot of these places, we have shuttle buses. I know, because I used to drive them. And so what I decided to do is I had this old Leyland National, which I wasn't really doing anything with. And I thought I'd give it a complete repaint, turn it into some sort of shuttle bus, keep it relatively plain. And I've stuck some people in it as well. You might be able to see there's some people in there. Oh, excuse me. So you see there's somebody just there sitting here. Someone's sitting there. So there's some people in it. I also sprayed the interior in a grey. The bus is actually sprayed in the Land Rover green. But this is basically using the all the materials that I already had. So the bus was already existing. I already had this bus. The people already had the people, and I was just using the paints that I already had to create a shuttle bus. So I couldn't really get any transfers for it. So I thought, well, I'll just keep it relatively plain. On the window, it already had a little letter A on it. Hello, Alan from Dragon's Rush, Mark 2. Sorry, my brain went for a second. No, this is a EFE. This is an old EFE model. But these EFE models are right roll pain in the backside to actually take apart. And you've had to drill out the bottom of it to get to it, and then to prise open the roof. Hello, Dundee Road, welcome to the stream. So it's now I've now got a little shuttle bus that I've made the most out of an old National to create a little shuttle bus. So I'm really pleased with that. Like I said, it's an afternoon's job. Like I said, it's all materials I already had. So this actual project hasn't cost me anything. But when I was working out over that side, what I was going to do with, let's see. Yeah, buses and lorries cost a fortune at the moment, they really do. So if I sort of, there you go, that's probably gets you in. See, I had to sort of turn that into that. Am I going to put, well, I know people have done, but I'm not going to, because I think the problem is, it's like most of these things, once you set the precedent and I do one, then I'm going to have to do one more, because otherwise it's just going to look odd. Good evening, David Jones. Welcome to the stream. So like I said, this is an old bus, and I'm going to use it as my little shuttle bus, and so the shuttle bus can then, and at least I'm making the most of it. Oh. So that goes over there. I'm going to put some more of these lights over there, and then afterwards that will illuminate that area as well. The other thing I've done is I've also moved some matchsticks around, like I said, over at that corner, but I've also created the entrance and exit, well, the exit point here, and that's for the staff vehicles and for the bus, so they don't have to go all the way around the yard, so they can just go straight out through that little barrier over there. But as you can see, I really have cracked on with the lighting, and the other thing I've been doing is I've repainted this little bit here, because originally there wasn't an island here in the middle, and this island wasn't here. So by putting this island here, I've had to move the containers, didn't marry up with the lines, so I've had to move the lines along. Hello Effingham, welcome to the stream. So I've had to repaint that, so that's done. So that now just sort of sits in there, and that all fits nicely, like so. Oh yeah, and I've got a new vehicle today. Can you guess which one it is? It's that one right over there. I bought that one today because it fits in so well with the stand over here. So this is the van that pulls the stand in and out. So I'll give you a closer look at that. So this is my little hot dog stand. Does burgers and stuff. But the van seems to be quite appropriate. It seems to marry up with the colours. It's a little Volkswagen van. I saw this today and I thought, oh, that'll go with my burger stand. Similar sort of colours. Make it out like it's pulling that. So that goes in there. So I'm going to just shut down the lights again. So for those of you who haven't seen it without any lights, I will take down the lights and I'll show you again with the lighting. So ready? 3, 2, 1. There you go. So that's all the lights done. So that gives a nice effect. And also I've got the breakdown truck. So that's also lit. So that's cool. So that's all wired in as well. So like I said, that gives a really nice sort of glow. I'm going to take you down so we sort of get it a bit more at ground level. So which lights do you think look too bright? To be honest with you, I think it gives a really nice glow. Yeah, to be honest, it is you, Timber Surf, to be truthful with you. They might look bright, but they actually give a really nice glow. Hi, John. Yeah, I've only just been doing. There you go. I was just doing a little bit of a live demo on how I put one of the lights together. Yeah, it needs more lights, to be honest. I know it might seem quite bright on there, but it actually isn't. So it's all coming together nicely. I think when you'll see the value of this when you do a nighttime running session. I've seen people do nighttime running sessions and you don't see anything. All you see is just the coach lighting, and there's no lighting anywhere else on the layout. And you just think, oh, what's the point of doing a night running session? So at least you can actually see what's going on, which I think is really quite cool. I'm going to see if I can take it off the tripod and hopefully I won't delete anybody. So we'll see if we can get some sort of lower cam shots. I'll try and go as slow as I can. I think it's great lighting. Hello Stuart, St Mary's Church, welcome to the stream and thank you. Like I said, you can see the difference between that one and that one. So, like I said, I've run out of LEDs, so I've got some more on order from eBay. It cost me £3.50 on eBay for a pack of 25, free postage. As I sound gone, unless I'm covering the microphone. So like I said, I'm gonna, as you can see, there's some dark spots here, so there's gonna be some more lighting back there. There's 2 holes there. So I'm gonna put some more lighting on here. That will brighten up this area here, which is still too dark. I've also got, I was actually gonna put, oh sorry, it might be me on the microphone. I wonder if that's what it is. And if we go into the station, you can see the station. A little DPD van, which I just did. And also by doing my own lighting, I'm using my own wiring as opposed to the really fine wiring, so at least I can use the proper wire so I can actually manipulate it. Sorry, I don't know if it was me that's done it, or whether it's muffled. So there you go, there's the station with the Eurostar. But yeah, at least with a nighttime running session, you can see what you're doing. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So I'm just gonna pop this back up. Right, and now let's just shut these lights down. Yeah, that's it. Right, we're all shut down. Yeah, that's why I use my own. So let's just, right, you're going to have to bear with me one moment as I'm here. Oh, so daisy, right. Right, so this is the one that I made earlier. So this is the wires that I've used. So these aren't that fine, so you can actually use them. Would any of you guys need to do another one make another one of these before I go? For those of you who missed it, I don't know if any of you want me to make another one. The soldering iron's still on, so I can actually make another one. So I'll just put that one to one side. Okay, right, so let's start again. So here we have soldering iron. The flashing lights on the breakdown wasn't me. That was bought on eBay as a complete unit. Somebody else had done that, and I paid a premium for that, but as soon as I saw it, I had to have it. So yeah, it was all part of the kit when I bought it. It was basically, David, it's like this lorry I bought. It came exactly like this, and then it just had a load of wires hanging down from it, and all I had to do is wire it in. All the lights were already done within the vehicle, so I just literally had to as soon as I took the packaging out, the wires fell down, and I just literally had to just wire it in. So I didn't do any of the lighting on that one. So once again, we've got the soldering iron, got some flux, scissors, pencil, your cleaner for the head, the tip, and then you've got your solder, and we've got the heat shrink, and we've also got the evergreen strips. So this is again the chop block 228. Here's the number, and that's the tube. That's the second part of the tube that I cut up. And somewhere around here. Ah, here we go. It's my LEDs. Hello, Andy Morrow, Andy Morland. Welcome to the stream. So I'm now down to my last 4 LEDs. So like I said, we've got a long leg and a short leg. The short leg is usually the one that goes to the black on here. So I've got my little battery tester. So you can see that the LED is perfectly fine and working. If you want to ask any questions, please feel free to do so as we go along. And then there's this one as well, which, oh, there you go. So that one's okay as well. Let's just try that again. There you go. So we know that one's working as well. And then what you need to do is flip it 90 degrees, bend the legs 90 degrees. So as you can see, the legs are now 90 degrees. And then what you need to do is do the same for the other one. But what you need to do is keep the short legs together and the long legs together. So you solder the 2 short legs together and the 2 long legs together. So that's why, and then you need to bend the head. As you can see, the head is straight up. So you need to bend the head in the opposite direction. So there we go. And what we do first is we do the short leg. So first thing we do is, like I said, I'm not using a screwdriver. God knows. I don't know what Alan's looking at. But I know I'm not testing. This is right. So that's one leg done. Hello, Matthew Whitmore. So that's that one done. Oh, well, I say it was done, but it wasn't quite done. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's it. That one's done now. Right, so, and then you do the same with the 2 long legs. I've done the 2 shorts. I'm going to do 2 long. Bit of flux. Right, so that's now soldered together. There you go. Hello, Donegal Dad. Welcome to the stream. So there you go. Those 2 are now soldered together. Then we're back with the old checking. And oh, I think I might have made a boo-boo. We're going to find out in a minute. Let's see. Well, I'm glad I made that mistake. As you can see, one of them's not working. The reason why one of them's not working is because I soldered one long to one short, which I shouldn't have done. So the way around that is to desolder this. Which is a bit unfortunate. What I'll do is but at least you've seen it. So what I'll do is I'll desolder that one afterwards. I'll just use the other 2. So I need to use those 2. I've done it yesterday just for the sake of speed, really. So let's check these 2 again. So that one, as you can see, that one's working. So that's what happens when you solder. If you solder it slightly wrong, which is what I didn't realise I did, then it won't then one of the lights won't work. So that's obviously clearly what I did. So that's the short one, and that short one's over there. So right, okay, so that should be like that. Okay. I'll desolder the other one. It's a bit fiddly, this job, but it is worth it. I do have some helping hands somewhere along here. I seem to be making the right pig's ear out of this one. Right, let's try this again. Right. That's it. Let's hope. No, that hasn't soldered, that hasn't taken to. Joys of lies TV, eh? Well, I think that's got it. I think that's got it. Right. There we go. Right, so that's that one. And that one. Right, and that's that one. Right, so. Yeah, right, okay. So, there we go. We're back to where we were. So I've got one facing one way, one facing the other. Like I said, I need to desolder the other one. But hopefully now, if we pop them back in here, there you go. You can see they're both working. So we know the wiring's right. So like I said, this one I soldered it the wrong way around inadvertently without realising it, so I'm going to have to desolder that one and go back to that one. Right, so anyway, so that's the good one. So then the next thing to do is take our black cable. Which one's the short one? That one's the short one. All right, so that'll be the black one. The short one's the black one. Well, at least for me it is. And we go here. So as you can see now, we have the black one here. That's our solder to that. Right, and we just chop off the excess. And then I've got to do the same to the other side, which is this one here. And then spin that around, dip it in, flux, and then hopefully it should take to no, that didn't take, so I have to try that again. This is so fiddly. I do have some helping hands. I wish I'd brought them out now. But because my hand's got full of flux on it, it's like really, really quite fiddly. Right. Yeah, that's it. There you go. So they're both taken to it. So now I just want to remove the excess that I've got going on here. And then we can have them both. So as you can see, there's two of them there. Next thing you need to do is get a bit of heat shrink. I only need to do one because basically the tube is actually plastic, so it doesn't conduct anything. So you only just need one to protect it. Right, and there you go. That one's heat shrunk all the way to the top. I don't know if you can see it, but I just run the back of the soldering iron. That is now done, ready to go. And then the next thing I do is pop it into the tube. Sorry if you can't see any of this. Come on. Should be easier to pop the, there you go. For some reason, the black one. Right. So, in you go, like that. So now it's time to test it to see if this still all works. So, hello Scott Malcolm. Welcome to the stream. It's fine. It's no problem. It wasn't announced in any case. So you've got that one there. That one there. So now it is going to be a case of hooking it up to the battery pack and testing it. So the black should go to the black and the purple should go to the red. There's one. Oops, sorry, that fell out. But there you go. So you can see it works. So that's how I do it. And then it's a case of putting it in a hole in the layout. I made these caps. And then once it's on the layout, I can glue them on. But I don't really want to put them on just yet because I just want to make sure they're all secured on the layout first. But that's how I make it. It's nothing too difficult. I know I probably made it seem more difficult than what it was, but the actual components are pretty cheap enough. And like I say, if you're competent with a soldering iron, you can easily do it. And like I said, it goes into a regulated power supply, which is one of the dial-up ones. So let's just... Ooh, oh, I've got to work for it tonight, eh? So anyway, that's where we're going to leave the video because it's been going for nearly an hour. So I've now... Yeah, I mean, if you have a 12 volt. If you're going to wire this into 12 volts, then obviously you need to have some form of resistors, so you don't blow the LEDs. But like I said, I've got a regulated supply which I can dial in whatever supply, so whether it be 3, 5, 9 and 12, I think. But like I said, because I've got a 3 volt regulated supply, I don't have to worry about resistors. I just literally just plug these into the chop boards underneath the layout, and then that will just power this up. So, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of wraps up tonight's stream. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you found it useful. And until the next time, it's goodbye from Milton Paul and Volmer. I wasn't expecting to do this video, but somebody had asked me to show it, so and to do it, so I thought I'd do it for you. So until the next time, it's goodbye from Milton Paul and Volmer. Bye bye.